Hello, everyone, and welcome to our YouTube channel. My name is Eleftheria, and today I have the pleasure to have with me Brian, and we will have a beautiful conversation about his project. But before we do that, let me all remind you that we are Volvox. Volvox is a software development company, but it also has a community, and this community is full of developers, founders, students, people who want to grow and excel in their development career. Either you are a self-taught developer or a vibe coder or a founder with a technical product, make sure to join us. In the description box below this video, you will find all the links where you can find us, as well all the links about the project that we are going to discuss today with Brian. And Brian, to get through this conversation, has created an amazing project where it saves you money. The problem before was that you were spending $200+ per month on GDP4, Claude, and other APIs. But right now, the solution is that you can track every API call locally and see exactly what you are spending. Some of the features that we're going to see in this project are automatic tracking, multi-provider support, automatic cost calculation. It has beautiful stats, local storage. It's fast and lightweight, and there is a JSON export as well as some more features. Without further ado, let's get started. Hi, Brian. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. And you?
Perfect. Thank you very much. I'm also doing well. Can you share a few things about your background so people can get to know you?
My name is Brian, a science student at Strathmore University in Kenya. So what I do is I build full stack apps, developer tools. I've shipped 3 CLI tools to NPM, 4 Chrome extensions, and some product applications such as a medicine platform, a parcel tracking system, an e-commerce store. So the project I want to show you today is a code session CLI. So a bit about my background is that I started teaching myself web development in secondary school, just HTML and CSS at first. Then when I joined Strathmore for computer science, I already had a foundation, but I quickly realized the school only teaches you computer science, not that. But the world teaches you software engineering. So I started building things outside of class to close that gap. So I started building the first CLI tool I built was a runbook CLI because I kept forgetting the exact Docker commands for each project. So this runbook CLI, it stores project-specific commands for a certain product and finds them anywhere in your repo when you want to use it. Now the second CLI is API snap CLI, because when you finish the program, now you write tests. After building an endpoint, that work is a little bit tedious. So this API snap CLI, it watches your API traffic and generates just tests, MSW, mocks, and OpenAPI docs from the requests that you push to the tests. So, and then the third CLI was DevMem CLI to give the AI systems such as Claude, if you're using a locally hosted model for coding, is to give them AI assistant memories that persists across your whole projects, not just from the current one you're working on. So that's a bit about my background.
Nice. Thank you so much for sharing all this with us. I actually didn't know most of those things, but it's really cool what you have built. And you're also very young, so building all these things is just amazing. Would you like to share your screen and maybe show us your project?
So I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Why I built this code session CLI. One day I was deep in a cloud code session, maybe like 2 hours in, and then the agent has been running for like 2 hours, and it has written it has made a bunch of API calls the whole time. It has changed a bunch of files. Now when I finished and closed the terminal, all that information was just gone. So I didn't know how long the session took. I'd have to guess what files it changed. I'd have to check Git and how much those API calls actually cost. So a couple of weeks later, when I got my Anthropic bill, I couldn't like explain whether the total amount came from what feature drove the costs, and couldn't tell the client I was working with why the project built what it did. So I looked for a tool online to solve this problem. There wasn't one, so I built a code session CLI. So it tracks your coding sessions, how long you've worked, which files you've changed, the Git commits you've made, the Git diffs, and exactly how much the AI costs you according to the pricing model of that specific model. So so I'll show you how it works first. So I'll just do this repository. So all the this are open source development programs. If you want to contribute, you can contribute in the GitHub. So the first thing that I'm going to do is show the sessions history. Now I have some mock data in the database that I have stored somewhere. So first of all is CS list. Now when you say CS list, it lists all the sessions that you have made. For example, in this a certain project of mine, I had 5 sessions. Now every session has a name. You will name that yourself, or the AI agent names it for you. And then the minute, how long the day it started, the duration it took, the files it changed, and the commits itself. Now, according to the built-in pricing, the cost of the specific model. Now you can show the aggregate stats as well. So CS stats. Now these override stats apart from this one.
Mm-hmm.
Now here there is 5 sessions. It shows you a total of 5 sessions, the total time of all the tasks, the average session, the file it's changed according to that specific session, and now the commits it has made, and now the total AI costs. Now, if you want to drill into one specific session, you can see CS show, for example, let's take 69, for example. 69. Now you can see for this specific number, which was what fixed parallel session support, you have all your aggregate stats for that one session. The date it started, the time, the ended, the duration, the files changed, the tokens used, and now the notes added, if you added some notes. And that's the third command. Now the other command. Now in this code session CLI, there are 3 modes. One of them is manual tracking if you want flexibility. The second one is automatic tracking, where there is a proxy included. And the third one is the AI agents, where the AI agents do all this for you by reading the skill MD. So the first one I'm going to show you is the manual control log. So every time you start a session, you say CS start. Let's say you want to build the login page. Enter. Now the session has started now.
Mm-hmm.
And then let me go back. So when the CS starts without the two JSONs, the JSON, like for example, without this JSON command, now it blocks the terminal with a file watcher, so it prevents it from ending. That is if you use it without this command here. And now for the second command, the session is open. So the session is open. Now for the second command, you log each API call by yourself. CS log. Let's say you're using Anthropic. P Cloud. You type your model there, and then the tokens it has used, and then the completion tokens
Mm-hmm.
it has completed with. Now, for example, let's say you're using Cloud. Let's say you're using 2400 for the 2400 for the prompt tokens, and then your
Mm-hmm.
completion. You've logged in 3,200 tokens at $0.02. And then it shows you the session total for that specific session. Now the $0.02. Now, in this, you don't pass a dollar amount. The tool already knows the price of the cloud sonnet that you've used here. Now it calculates the cost from the token counts
Mm-hmm.
automatically, and then you can log as many calls as you want. And now if you want to check the session anytime, say yes. Now see this one, for example, this one that we said build login page. It is still active, as we can see here. It's still active. We haven't ended it. And then it started at this particular time. The files it has changed to 0 because we haven't made any changes in the commit, in the AI token that we logged here, in the cost itself. So To end the session, you just say yes, and then it gives you a breakdown of what. If you go to status, it's now completed, no active sessions. So that's what. And then when you come here, just if you want to end it here also, you can just Control C to end that specific session. So the second one is the automatic that you said, a proxy auto tracking. This is where you don't code anything. So how manual logging works is that how proxy, how the proxy have set up the proxy is that during manual logging you have to remember to do after every call that you do. See, that's tedious. Now most people want it to be automatic. That's what the proxy does. So a local HTTP proxy starts on your machine at, let's say, localhost 3789. So it sits in front of Anthropic and OpenAI APIs so that every call that your agent makes goes through it. The proxy reads the token counts, looks up the models from the built-in price table that you've set up. Also, you can edit the price table. I'll show you that how to do that later, and log the cost as well. So your agent has no idea that the proxy is there. So the easiest way to do this, you need to get is by CS run. It's CS run and then echo. Let's say now here. So what this does is that one command that you run it here, it starts the session, it starts the proxy, wires up the Anthropic base URL and the OpenAI base URL automatically so that your agents route through the proxy and then runs your script. And then when it exits, which is it has exited here, it prints a full summary of what that session is. So if this for example had been a real agent, you'd see the AI cost there, but now it's not a real agent because it's us who have run the command. So this is a proxy, it's active as usual, it's tracking the files and commits, and Control C does stops your command and shows the cost summary as well. So that's the first mode. Now the second mode, still the same proxy, the proxy standalone. That is for existing agent setups. Now if you already have your own agent running and you don't want to wrap with a CS run, start the proxy, you can just type CS. It's fix. Nice. So what this does is it creates the session. It starts the proxy in one setup. So it detects your OS if you're using Windows, Linux, Mac OS. So on Windows it shows the PowerShell syntax. On Mac and Linux it shows the export that is. And now you press Control C to stop and CS show to see the summary of that specific session that you've made. The session was fix authentication bug. It's active still. It's still running. We haven't changed anything. The commits, the cost is still at 0. Now the third mode still on proxies, agent auto tracking. Now for OpenClaw and Cloud Code users, they have a third mode where you don't have to type any of this. This is what our target audience for this project is. So you install the npm package once, ClawHub, that is ClawHub install code search. It's already installed. So now what this does is that you just assign a task, let's say from your terminal. You want the agent with OpenClaw agents to do or the Cloud Code agent to do. For example, you want to fix a login timeout issue. Now the agent handles everything here. It reads the skill.md that you use. It tells it always start a tracked session before a multi-step task. So it runs like CS start, fix the login timeout issue, the 2 dashes, and then the JSON itself, using its own understanding of the task as a name that you've given when you prompt it. So then it works. Like it logs every API call it calls to Anthropic, OpenAI, It logs every call, calculates the cost using the built-in pricing, and then closes the session after it's ended by CSN. So I think that's about it for that mode. So if you're using Cloud Code specifically, there's also a stop hook you can use that I've set it up in the docs. You can read it in the docs. So every time Cloud Code finishes a task, it fires CS m-auto m-log in the background. So which reads the Cloud Code transcript that it has given you and then estimates the token usage from the message lengths and then logs the cost to your active session automatically. So if you want to see the pricing list, you can do price. These are the models that are currently supported: Cloud, Codex, DeepSeek, Gemini, all the GPTs, and now the Ocean of Mini. So that's what it's supported by the.
Nice, you have a big list.
I hope to add more models that probably that people host locally, such as Quen. You can add Llama models that they host on the cloud as well. So there's a future feature that I'm working on. Now for the dashboard itself, CS dash in detail of the sessions that you have made in detail. So this particular session, CEO improvements and marketplace listing. The total cost was $0.31. The tokens that were used, prompt control, and the files that has changed. You can see the timelines of the what the agent has done. This was automatic through OpenClaw. So OpenClaw did all this. It created a file. It modified some files. It committed to Git. And then if you want to see the in-file changes, you can see them here. You can even, let's say, the skill MD. It has added 25 files and lines and deducted 3 lines. You can see it here. Now there's a diff, what you call the diff. It has redacted this line and added this line. The same thing here. You can see about that. Let's say, for example, this test here. You can see it has added the test here. I think that's about it with the diffs. It also shows the total amount of additions and deletions here. And now the commit as well. The commits to GitHub. If you don't want to run to check the commits on VS Code, you can just come here and check each diff. If you want to revert to that diff, to that specific commit, you can do that. You can check the hash number here and revert to that specific commit. You can also see the changes in that specific commit. And now the AI calls, it has made 2 AI calls. I used Cloud Sonnet 4 for the first one, and now 4.6 for the second one. And now any notes that the AI agent provided is also here. You can also see the model breakdowns here. I've used only 3 models, 2T calls, this number of tokens, and the total costs. I've only used Anthropic and OpenAI. You can see the graphs here. 4.6 is taking most of the tokens here. As you can see, 4.4 and 4.6, now GPT 4.0. The insights as well, the pricing. Now the alerts, here's where I want to emphasize. For example, 0.9, you can set an alarm here, alarm on. Now when you go beyond 0.02 for the budget today, so 0.00, and then set an alarm 9, you get an alarm here. You allow notifications and then the alarm, you can hear the alarm. I don't know if you can hear the alarm right now, but and then the pricing here is where you change the prices of the specific model you want. You can edit it. You can edit the input amount, the output amount, and then save it. You can also add your custom model. Let's say, for example, they release a GPT-6. You can add it there if I haven't added that specific model. So yeah, I think that's about the demo for the project.
Perfect. Thank you very much for sharing with us everything. Have you finished this project or is it something that you're still working on?
It's something I'm still working on. I add probably new features every 2 weeks. So there's an upcoming feature where the biggest scope is team export. Right now, everything happens locally on the DB. Now the next release adds let's say structured JSON or CSV exports so the data can be fed into team dashboards client billing reports. And after that, I can add like more provider export support. Right now it's Anthropic, OpenAI, Gemini, and DeepSeek. Now in future, I want to like add local models such as Olama, and so on. I think that's it.
Nice. You have done an incredible job. So far, you have a lot of features. That's why I thought that you maybe had finalized this project, but I see that you will continue working on that. And we will be here at Volvox to see the progress of this project. Bravo once again. And if anyone wants to check this project, which I would recommend you to do so, check the description box and you will find a link so you can check it on your own as well. Thank you very much, Brian, for being here with us today. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching us. It was a pleasure having you all here. Stay tuned for more videos by Volvox. See you!